Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Today we're going to be making a custom ring from some western red cedar that the customer sent in on sterling silver. So this is going to make a really pretty ring. There's red cedar on sterling silver. So let's go in the shop. First thing we need to do is cut some pieces out of this big block of cedar, some little slices on the bandsaw. Now we're going to stabilize them in the resin. So we drop them into the resin and we are going to put them in the vacuum chamber and suck the air out of them, and then release the vacuum and let the resin go back into the wood. Let's go ahead and weigh them down. Weigh these pieces down. I'm going to put some more resin in there. That's all right. Cover them up, and we will put some more resin in there. Cover them up. Alright, let's put them in the vacuum chamber. Now we just turn on the vacuum and suck out all the air. Now let's go ahead and release the vacuum. Release the vacuum! Resin will go back into the wood, and then we'll let it sit for a while, and then we'll put it in the oven and set the resin. Well, it's been sitting under the resin for a while. Let's go ahead and get the weights off. Go ahead and lay them out. Lay these pieces out. Only a few. There's just one ring making here. But this gives me some options. That's why I do multiple pieces. Alright, now you put them in the oven at about 220 for about an hour, and then let that resin set. It's time to get out the cookies. And there we go. So they're nice and dry. So we'll go ahead and let these cool off, and then we'll start cutting them up. Alright, first thing we're going to do is kind of turn them flat. Well, we cut them down a little bit on the bandsaw, a little bit smaller, so it'd fit in the jaws better. I've got the flat part against the back, so he's nice and square to the chuck. And now we're going to go ahead and drill him out with a 21mm Forstner bit, and this will be the hole for the where it'll fit around that ring core. That's very good. All right. Now the channel in this ring core is 3.95 millimeters. And I measure that with my digital calipers. So I've got a boring bar in here, and I am going to pull out. I've got it all the way to the back of the wood. I'm going to turn on my DRO and zero it. Then I'm going to pull back this way to about 4 millimeters. And then tighten them down. And then we're going to turn them on and bore this way, and that'll leave just about 4 millimeters of wood on the inside of this hole. That's what'll go around that ring core. All right, looking good. And there's that ring core. Now what we're going to do is take him over to the bandsaw, make a cut in on each side so we can break him, so he'll fit around that silver core. So here's that silver ring core, the channel there, and then this guy's been bored out to fit. And that, you can tell when we use our calipers, the little tail that sticks out, it's just about flush with the back, so we know this is just the right thickness. So now we're going to find the grain, and we're going to take him to the bandsaw, and we're going to cut in just about to where this gets skinny, and then we're going to break him, fit him onto the ring core, and then bond him in with 2-part epoxy. Now, as I call this the moment of truth, but since I've been using this aluminum block, it makes it a lot easier to get a good clean break. Alright, let me check him. Might need a little tiny bit of sanding, but he's looking pretty decent. Maybe just a tiny bit of sanding to get him so he'll fit just right. Not much needed. Not much sanding needed on that guy. This guy, just a little bit. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that's so pretty. And gets just a little bit of spin. So just enough room for the 2-part epoxy, and that's going to be nice. So now I'm going to scratch up the inside of this ring's channel just so he have a good bond. Then I'm going to clean the wood and clean the metal with denatured alcohol, And then we are going to bond him in there. Alrighty. So let's clean the wood with denatured alcohol, just to get the wood, any kind of like sawdust off of it. We don't want anything that's gonna interfere with our bond. We want a good bond. So got that. Clean this guy up. And we always do the wood first, because that way, let it have a little time to dry. Let that alcohol dry off that wood. Alright. Got that good and clean. Okay. And now we just clean the metal core, the silver core. It's probably going to be pretty clean, but you know, sometimes there's like a little bit of a leftover oil from whatever when they do the machining, so you need to cast them and machine them. But just make sure that that's good and clean. Yeah, he was very clean. There was no dirt on that one. All right, now we just put in our G-Flex, our two-part epoxy. We'll start with the epoxy. And then the hardener, same amount. I use our patented jeweler's tool in here to mix that up. Good mix. And this stuff is, they use it to fix boats, so it's pretty flexible and pretty strong. It's a good two-part epoxy. It takes 24 hours to dry, but hey, it's worth it. Do this part today and then come back tomorrow and finish up. All right. Go put some on the wood, including the edges where it will bond together. And let that sit. Let that kind of soak in a little bit. Now we put some on our ring core, and this is to make sure that we get a good wet bond. We don't want a dry bond with any air pockets or anything like that. That way we make a good bond that will last. And that's the important thing about these rings. You want something that's going to last. You want something that's going to be proud to wear. You can't swim with them. That's because it is wood. But, you know, treat it like if you had a dress watch. I always tell people. Alright, so now we got that. So we're going to go ahead and put this here. And then put this here. Kind of get them together. Give them a good squeeze. And give them a little clean up on this what's scooched out. Some scooched out right there, so I kind of clean it up a little bit. Give them a little bit of a twist. Just that way we make sure that we got good coverage all the way on the sides and the bottom. Alright, we use this little, as my dad used to call them, DeWalt clamp. There we go. Clamp him down. Alright, now we just let him sit overnight, then we'll come back and we'll finish him up. Well, it's the next day, and the epoxy is good and cured, and the wood's looking good. So we're going to go ahead and cut around here. Cut off the excess on the bandsaw. Then we're going to put him on the lathe. We're going to turn him to shape, and he's flush with the metal. And then we're going to put him on the little rotisserie and put the finish on him. So and then we're probably going to do some little polishing on the buffering wheel. So let's go ahead and do that. Got a little finish on the sides right here, so we're going to go ahead and sand that with 800 grit sandpaper, just real lightly. There we go. Now we're going to put them back on the lathe, hit him with 800 grit sandpaper just to smooth them off, then the scratch free, and then the polishing 1, 2, and 3, and then the diamond polishing paste. Well, here's that piece of Western red cedar and the silver inlay ring that I made from it. So I think it came out pretty nice. I think the customer's going to be pretty happy with this because I made this custom for them. So if you would like to see some other custom rings or rings made from the decks of battleships, from stocks of M1 Garands, from Major League Baseball bats, check out hillcountryrings.com. If you'd like to leave a comment and let me know what kind of ring you'd like to see me make, I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.